Welcome, everybody. Exciting news for many people from our own community, from our Latinx community. Why? Well, let me tell you that a very important organization for Latinx professionals is about to come to Canada, and this is so exciting. Its name is ALFA, Association of Latinx Professionals for America. And the reason why we're so excited is because it's starting its operations in Canada. And today, my friends, I'm not here alone. I'm here with Damian Rivera, CEO of our organization, but also Carlos Chalico, who is president in Canada. Hello, Damian, Carlos, welcome. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited for today.
Yeah, it's very exciting, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Damian, Carlos, I want to start with an introduction about Alpha. For those who are not familiar with the organization, I think this is a great opportunity to let them know about all the amazing job that Alpha is doing for our community and what they are about to do for our own Latinx community here in Canada.
Absolutely. So Alpha is about access to an amazing network of Latinx professionals across the country, now across the world. I will say we've gotten to Canada, and that is going to make us that much more impactful together. A network of a community that can engage with each other, help each other progress in their life's ambition and life's mission. It's also about learning and development, right? People talk about your network is your net worth. I say your network plus what you know and what actions you take create the opportunities that you get going forward. And Alpha is about putting those together in a safe space of people that understand how to work together towards that progression. The organization started in 1972, so we are in our 50th anniversary of impact, and we are looking forward to another 50 years together, now including our amazing Alpha Canada chapter.
Carlos, do you want to tell us a bit more about why the organization is extending its operations into Canada?
Because it has to, Cynthia, and because we have to. That's what I can say. I joined one of the big four firms in Canada, Ernst & Young, in 2018. And as I was going through my onboarding process, I was introduced to the multiple professional networks the firm has. And I was surprised that we didn't have a Latin professional network, a Latinx professional network. So we started one. It's been very successful. And I was lucky enough to be sent to Alpha's national convention in Nashville, Tennessee in 2019. That was the very first time I had the opportunity to have contact with Alpha. I saw Damian in the stage and I saw the energy that he and the association itself projects to people. I was able to see how it brings together professionals, students, entrepreneurs, and I was very impressed on what the organization is doing for the Latinx community in the States. So I took an opportunity to approach a couple of board members and say, guys, have you thought of the possibility of doing something in Canada? And that's how it started. That's how the magic happened. With that conversation, I started a series of small talks that finally put me in front of Damian. He was kind enough to look for me in a trip he was making to Toronto. And he said, Carlos, I know that you're interested in doing something with Alpha in Canada, and I am willing to go with that. Unfortunately, COVID impacted the world because this was happening by October 2019. And after that, shortly after that, we had COVID. But it gave us the time to plan and start thinking what we could be doing. Couple of months ago, or a little bit more than a couple of months ago, Damian, the team in the United States and our team in Canada started working on shaping the chapter. And now we are very excited to announce that the Alpha Canada chapter is finally a reality. And we talk about Alpha Canada because the intention is to bring this at the national level. We want to go to the entire country to reach every single Latin person that is in the country, to invite them to be part of Alpha. Of course, as we gain maturity, we will try to define local chapters in different cities, but we want to have this national perspective first to go further.
Of course, these are exciting news for our own community. As you said, finally, this is becoming as a reality, right? We are making it possible. I wanna ask you, as you said, this is exciting. This is an opportunity for many Latinx professionals. I wanna ask you both. What does this mean for our community? Yes, you have already been giving some explanation about that, but basically I want to ask, how can our Latinx community can take advantage of all the incredible things that Alpha is doing?
Yeah, I can start off there, and I'd love to hear some more remarks. couple of key pieces, right? So when we started to look at the opportunity to engage in Canada, some of the other things we looked at is what is the data showing, right? So as of the 2016 census in Canada, I believe it was, there's about a million Latinx individuals across the country. The population is continuously growing. And we also did some research and saw a lot of the similar challenges that are seen in the US are seen in Canada. There is a wage gap issue from the Latinx community in Canada, the same way there is in the US. In the US, Latinas make 55 cents in the dollar for the same exact job, right? That is a problem. Latinos also very similar wage gap there. And so what we started to do is say, how do we identify ways that we can help with those things? So let me give you an example. We have hundreds of hours of content on our platform that was developed by the Latinx community for the Latinx community on things like wealth creation. How do you negotiate your salary? How do you go ahead and pivot to a new opportunity? How do you make sure you're balancing out things from a financial perspective for your family and moving forward? We also have areas of health and wellness. How do you make sure you're taking care of yourself both mentally and physically? So our goal is to make sure that there's access to these opportunities from a learning and development, as well as the network side, again, to make sure that every individual is able to take advantage of what they want to create in their lives and leveraging the amazing network that's in place to do so. And the two countries coming together with a lot of similarities, but also enough difference that we can learn from each other and grow even faster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Carlos, do you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you. I think that just to complement a little bit on what Damien said, when I was in Nashville and I had this first contact with Alpha, I said that I was very impressed on what Alpha was doing, and I was very impressed on the responses that Alpha was offering to the Latin American community. But as Damien said, it is not only the responses, but what the organization is responding to. I mean, the topics and the root causes of all these different challenges that Latinx are facing in Canada. I think they are pretty similar across North America. So I think that's why it is going to be very important for the Latinx community in Canada to be part of this space, to be part of these. We call them, and Damien has taught us that as well. We call it Alfamilia. Being part of the Alfamilia is going to increase the opportunities we have to excel on what we do as professionals, students, or entrepreneurs. That's why we are very excited, because we think this is going to be bringing a lot of good chances and positive vibes for the Latin community.
Yeah, and as you said, Damien, and I think it's important to highlight that it's about bringing the experience that Alpha has in the United States and bringing that to Canada, but at the same time bringing what Canada can actually contribute to the United States. And the thing that we have both in common is that this organization is for Latinx community. So definitely there are in both countries there are excellent contributions for our Latinx professionals. I want to ask you, so who can become a member of the Alfamilia?
Yeah, so it's a great question, right? So we are Latinx focused, but we are not Latinx exclusive, right? And so anyone can join. It is about an organization that is very welcoming. One of the stats that's out there is the Latinx community actually marries a lot outside of the community as well. I like to say everybody wants to marry somebody who's Latino. And so with a lot of the blended families that are happening, it's a great environment to be able to collaborate and just engage and get to know other folks that are in similar situations, learn things. So we are very welcoming, embracing community. And to Carlos's word, the Alfamilia is called that for a reason, because everybody looks out for each other. So remember, anyone can join.
What important message, especially for a city like Toronto, which is the most multicultural city in the world. And we, as part of the Latinx community, yes, we are part of that multiculturalism. So as you have said, everybody's welcome as part of the Alfamilia.
Yeah, and I'd love to add to that too, right? I had the privilege, I'll say, of working in Toronto for many years. And the environment, the things I was able to learn having been in Toronto for that amount of time was pretty magical for me, for my family. And so when I think about the ability to multiply that out by engaging the communities and making it so easy for people to know each other, it gives me all kinds of hope for the future of where we're going.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Carlos, there is already an amazing team in Alpha, in our Canadian chapter, many talented Latinx professionals who are joining the team. I would love if you can please introduce them to our community, to our audience.
Yes, yes, of course. Something that is pretty exciting, Cynthia, is of course the team that we have assembled to make this happen. And something I want to emphasize is the level of experience that Alpha has in doing this. The organization, the Alpha Melia, is celebrating its 50th anniversary in 1972 is when the organization was founded. So this is the year to celebrate this 50th anniversary. And it is great that Canada is contributing in this way, making the association international. So what about the team? Let me start with Mike Lerma. Mike Lerma is a very talented professional in the financial space. He was born and raised in Mexico, and he's going to be acting as the treasurer for our team. He's going to be working with financial matters. He's going to be connected to the team in the States to work with a very sensitive topic, which is precisely the financial considerations. Mike is perhaps one of the most important elements on creating this idea to make this happen. I remember when we had the opportunity of having the first conversation with Damien, Mike was there with me. So he was one of the first and initial supporters of this group. So I'm very excited on having Mike as part of the team. Then we have Teresa Perez. Teresa Perez or Tere Perez. She was born and raised in Mexico as well. Uh, she's a very energetic lady. It was pretty interesting because as we were going through COVID, there was a point in time, Damien and Cynthia, where I thought that the idea of Alpha was simply dead. And I was just thinking of abandoning it simply because things were not happening. But there was a reason, and the reason was COVID. So I don't know how Teresa found me, and she approached me on LinkedIn. She asked me to have a conversation just to exchange ideas as immigrants and to discuss what we could be doing in order to help the community. And she started saying things that made me remember what was the purpose of bringing Alpha to Canada and what was the reason for us to work on that. And I said, you know what? This is something we have to bring back again. And this is something we need to make happen. Coincidentally, by that time, and I don't know if it was the energy or the universe or what it was, but after having this connection with Tere, I got an email from Damien. And Damien was saying, Carlos, we are ready to go. What else do you need from us in order to make it happen? And that's how it worked. So Tere is a fundamental piece as well in the team. And it was because of her that we finally revived the situation. She's going to be acting as a secretary for the chapter. We also have Fabiola Sicard, an amazing woman, very talented. If there's someone who knows the Latin community in Canada, that's Fabiola Sicard. She has been in Canada for a while. She worked for some time with one of the largest banks in Canada, Scotiabank, and then she left the bank in order to go and take other challenges. But the way she's connected with many Latin American people in the country is amazing. It is pretty interesting because I remember that when I talked to Fabiola the very first time about Alpha as an idea, she was not totally convinced of doing that because she knows it demands time and commitment and heart to make something like this work. So I devoted some time to help her what Al Familia was about and what creating the chapter was about. And she finally accepted and she said, yes, I think that what the association is bringing to the Latinx Canadian community is amazing. So yes, count me in and I will definitely work with you on this initiative. And she's going to be in charge of corporate development. Then we have Rodrigo Konix. Rodrigo is going to help us with membership. He's the membership director. Something pretty interesting is that Rodrigo started something in a very simple way. He just thought of bringing together different members of initially the Mexican community. He started with a group that is called Mexican Professionals in Toronto. And the group started to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And it is amazing how large the community has become just because of this idea that Rodrigo had at some point in time. He is, of course, now starting conversations with other professionals from other countries that are part of the Canadian community as well to see how we can start bringing all of these pieces together. So when we thought of bringing Alfamilia to reality, I thought that someone that is crucial on making connections is Rodrigo. And that's why Rodrigo is part of the team. So he's an amazing guy, and I think he will be fantastic on helping us with all of these matters. Uh, then we have communications. And in communications, we have Cynthia Basulto. We are very proud of having someone as experienced as you and with the
Thank you.
heart and the passion you have on doing what you do. And we are definitely convinced that with your support, we are going to be reaching different spaces and all the latitudes within the country to get all the Latin American people we are looking for. So that's communications. On mentoring, because we think that in order to succeed within the professional space, you need to have the proper guidance. We identified a very talented human resources professional. He's a friend of mine as well. Hector Rosas has been doing human resources all his life. He's constantly traveling between Mexico and Canada because that's how his work makes him go from one country to the other. But he's very passionate about mentoring, and he has been an entrepreneur as well, developing different platforms and initiatives to help people with mentoring needs, linking people that is interested in giving mentors to people that is interested on getting or receiving mentees. So that's Hector Rosas, and he's going to be helping us with mentoring. Then IT, we need the platform to stay connected. We need all the tools that are going to help us make up this chapter something that is functional and successful. And that's Ana Fukushima. Ana Fukushima is a very talented Brazilian lady that came to the country almost 10 years ago. I met her because she was my student and we were like members of different professional associations. And if there is someone that is committed and detail oriented, that's Ana. So she has been creating the launching platform for us from the IT perspective, and she's going to be doing that for the team. We have academic relations. I have said more than once, and Damien has said that as well, that Alpha is about the Latinx community, and this Latinx community is divided in three buckets: professionals, entrepreneurs, and students. Rafael Colon, is going to be focused on students. The idea is to have Rafa approaching universities and colleges in order to identify how we can help them succeed in their professional journey. Something we have found as well is that the relationship or the needs are not only on that specific stage or level. We need to go to high schools in the future because we want every single young gentleman or lady identifying how there's Latin American people that is making it in this country and that they do have opportunities and that there's chances for them to be successful. We want to inspire them and we want to identify them in order to help them with this journey. Rafa is going to be taking care of this. Then we have Martha Batis. Martha Batis is going to be taking care of the culture file or the culture portfolio. Martha is a very talented artist. She's a writer. She has been in the country for quite some time. She's teaching how to write. She's constantly writing. Her most recent book is going to be sold or released, excuse me, I have to say, very soon in Amazon and other platforms. And she was very excited. It was pretty interesting to have this initial conversation with her, to invite her to be part of this. And she said, I don't know what I have to do, but I will. I am very passionate and I am very talented in organizing events and get togethers when they are involving art. So, yes, I will. So, she's going to be helping us develop that specific platform, that specific portfolio. And we are very excited on having Martha as part of the team. Then we have Silvia Gonzalez Zamora. She's a partner with KPMG. She's specialized on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and she's going to be taking the leadership on the education portfolio. It was very exciting. We recently had a conversation with Sylvia, and she said, I want to be focused on two different elements. Number one, I want to help people in Canada understand the value that Latinx are bringing to this country. And on the other side, I want to help people within the Latinx community understand how to respond to the needs that this country is presenting us with. So, very committed, and again, very excited on having her as part of this team. We have Gaby Zúñiga on diversity and inclusion. Gaby is a very talented leader on that specific field. And actually, she is instrumental in this. When I joined EY, as I explained before, looking for the creation of a professional network for the Latinx community, she was the one in charge of that specific office at EY at that time. And she was the one that pushed us to make this happen and to make it a reality. So Gabi is going to be helping us get connected to other professional networks that can reach what we are going to be doing within the Latin community. We have Norma Marin. She's going to be leading the entrepreneurship portfolio, an entrepreneur herself. Norma is a very talented lady that is constantly looking for ways and opportunities to do things and develop new ideas to respond to markets needs. So she's going to be helping us with that initiative. And last but not least, I want to talk about Raul Mangalindan. Raul Mangalindan has been the heart of what we are doing right now. Raul is helping us with the operations portfolio. He's the one that is making the engines work within the organization. And very talented gentleman. I had the pleasure of working with him as board members in another professional association, and I was able to witness what he can make. So, because I saw what he's able to do and the passion that he puts in every single thing, I approached him to invite him to be part of this initiative, and he said yes. So, this is a team. Everyone is very excited on doing whatever we have to do to make the Alpha Familia a reality in Canada and to offer these to the Latinx community in this country. Very excited and ready to serve. And with that, I will move it back to you, Cynthia.
Wow, thank you so much, Carlos. I have to say that I am so honored of being part of Alpha Melia, and especially with all these extremely talented professionals. So thank you so much for the invitation, Damian, Carlos, and I would like to close this interview. If you can please give a message to our Latinx community here in Canada, and I mean, invite them to join our Alpha Melia. Damian, Carlos, who wants to start?
I'll start off with something that you will hear me say often is equity of opportunity is not the same as equity of responsibility. With increased ability comes increased responsibility. We all, as a Latinx community, have amazing abilities, which means we have a responsibility to be able to give back to each other and make sure we are helping lift each other. And so I encourage everyone to join the Alpha Canada, Alpha Familia, because it is through that collaboration, the coming together, the communication that we have with each other that will translate to inspiration and growth across the entire nation and now across all of North America and soon to be across the world. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for having me and inviting me to have this conversation.
Carlos.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what to say after that energetic message from Damien, but I'm very excited as well. And as he described it, this is just the beginning. Alpha Canada is the launching platform for Alpha to go to other countries. We want to repeat, we want to learn from what Alpha has done for the Latinx community in the States and bring that to Canada. And then we want to help Alpha bring these to other countries. So anyone can come and join us. As Damien said before, anyone is welcome. If you want to get more information about Alpha, you can go to www.alpha.org and you will be able to find the Canada chapter or the Canadian chapter, and you will be able to get in touch with us. We are here to serve and we are ready to help. So thank you, Cynthia, for making this happen. And thank you, Damian, for your support.
Thank you, Damian. Thank you, Carlos. And I want to close inviting, of course, to all our Latinx community. We're just starting. We're just creating our LinkedIn account, actually. So please give us a follow, engage with our conversations, follow all the incredible activities that we are about to start. And thank you, all of you, for being here today.